So how far into Spore did you get?
Oh, we got to the end. We got to the space stage by the end of the first 4 hour stream.
Oh wow, really
I'm a
that quick?
professional Spore player, man. I used to play that game so much as a kid because that was one of the only games I had, so I would play it a lot.
I have probably not played that game in like 15 years.
Yeah, well, that's impossible since it only came out in 2008.
That was like 12 years ago.
That's not
That's
15
pretty
years
close.
ago.
Yeah, okay. I haven't played in like 10 years. I'd say it was a pretty innovative uh, game, especially for the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got in a good talk with a guy about or I got a good talk with somebody about if they were to remake it today, what would you want to see in it? You know.
To have remade Spore. Come on, Will Wright. Join us. Yeah, but he probably won't. I think Spore was his last game.
Who?
Will Wright.
I don't
He
know.
made Spore. He also made like SimCity.
Well,
I also think he made.
Max has made Sims and Spore, and then EA killed the
Yeah,
company.
he was the lead designer behind the SimCity, and
Yeah,
Spore.
it's a shame. EA ruins everything.
Eh, yeah, but got Spore. Man, yeah, that's fun. You have to shoot me a text next time you're on. I didn't know you were streaming.
I don't know if you hit the thingy, hit the bell.
Ring that notification bell. Subscribe. Maybe I just have notifications off for Twitch.
Maybe.
No, I do. Oh, there we go. That makes sense then. Oh, you got any fun plans for this upcoming week?
Work.
Just work? Nothing. Nothing beyond that. Just keeping it chill.
Yeah, maybe I'll stream, get the motivation too.
Ooh.
I burnt myself out on Chibi Robo too quick. It's really fun, but I kind of got to a point where it's like I'm not really entirely 100% sure where I'm going next. And you can only wander. I did two like 4 hour wander sessions, and I'm like I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it was 4 hours. Maybe it was like three, but still, it's like, well, I'm not really sure what like. There's supposed to be another thing I'm supposed to find. I don't know where it is. I can't find it.
You always look up a walkthrough.
I don't want to though.
You want to be pure.
Exactly. I mean, I might if this goes on long enough, I might. But holy shit. Um,
I'm glad you're enjoying it at least.
yeah, it's really good. And I have the price tracker permanently open in one of my tabs now, and it supposedly went down for July, but there's been so many purchases that it jumped up to 180. It went
Ooh,
from
looks like
175 to 160, but it went from 160 to 180 for July.
he bought low and you're gonna sell high.
No, I'm not selling it. So I'm interested. I'm wondering how high it can go. You know.
Probably maybe 200.
I guessed 300.
Really?
That was my guess. Ooh, Jesus. Sorry.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's not like they're making it anymore, so.
Yeah, and the only good one was the first one, and Scott DeWaz just released that new video, so.
Well, you're not going to get Ziplash after this for the
No.
3DS.
God, no. So Ziplash didn't seem that bad, but then it got to the fucking wheel. Did you watch that video?
I did watch the video.
It got to the wheel part, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot.
It's a, it's a pretty bad game mechanic, not going to
Yeah, like
lie.
everything else was like, okay, that's not the greatest. Um, but, you know, it's there. It's not, it's an option. And then the wheel mechanic came in, and I'm like, oh my God, that is worst game design I've ever seen.
Yeah, it feels like they're wanting to stretch that out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe too far. But, hey, they obviously are done making good good Chibi Robo games, so
Yeah.
at least they gave it the old try. Don't worry, once he gets into Smash, I'm sure he'll have a whole load of games come after that, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe Nintendo will reboot the brand as like a 2D automatic runner on the iPhone.
Oh.
And your dreams can come true.
I mean, the worst part is I could see how they would do it too.
That's basically what Ziplash was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, at least you got one good game out of it.
One good game way back in the day.
Hey, that's better than some.
That's true.
Right.
That's very true.
Some series get no good games.
Yeah. I'd say, do you want to get into it? But we don't really have any. When you threw out the idea of recapping the first half of the year, I'm like, oh, I mean, every podcast technically is a recap in itself, but okay. But anyway,
well, I think. I mean, we're a little over half through the year, so I thought it'd be good just to sit back, relax, and just do a little discussion over kind of a look back, casual look back over some of the albums we've covered over the years. Because we've
do the introduction real quick since we're kind of just even if it's chill,
Oh yeah.
I like doing the intro. So
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Audio Shop podcast. Had a bit of a hiatus. Cooper's been off exploring the world during the pandemic, which you might call him stupid for, and I would too.
Moving is another word for it.
Another word for it.
I'm not going off and like I'm not going around licking doorknobs.
I don't know.
I've really gotten into touching just water fountains, just on the head, just with my hands. It's very, very.
I like
good
sucking
feel.
on them while I drink out of them. It's very cathartic.
I've had some irons in the fire, but now I'm a little more settled down in my new abode, and I think we can be a little more regular with our episodes now.
Yeah, and you're starting to work too.
Yeah, got my big boy job. Though in a way, I always considered Audio Shop my main occupation.
Oh, you shouldn't. You really should not. I think we have one viewer. So I would not. Yeah, no, I take back. We got 5. I was wrong.
Oh, there we go. I'll pay for a month's rent, right?
No. Oh yeah, have you seen Jenna's new emote, by the way?
Oh my lord, I did not give permission.
I didn't give permission for mine. Wait, did you weren't around when they unveiled Carmen's newest artwork, were you?
I did watch the stream and I saw it.
Okay.
It is something special. But
yeah, I opened the stream in the middle of D&D and it was just staring at me.
It's a great picture though. Carmen really outdid herself with the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I kind of look like Nikola Tesla.
A little bit, yeah.
It's the hair part. Oh man, that's beautiful. Tier 2 subbing money. Man, to think I'm still not a mod.
Yep.
It hurts.
So you moved in to your new
Yeah, I'm all
place.
moved in. All moved into my place. Bought some furniture, bought a bookshelf, a nightstand. I'm all set up, and it feels good.
Do you know what your work schedule is going to be? Are you going to be a 9 to 5 boy or?
Yeah, basically a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll be working from home for the
Oh,
foreseeable
right.
future,
Yeah.
so there's not really a commute.
Yeah, I need to. I got some stuff I got to do this week, but I got to talk to my boss and be like, "Hey, I don't really want to be coming in anymore. I'm not completely comfortable with that. I've got a lot of years ahead of me, and I would not like to spend those without a limb or being winded sitting down."
Yeah, yeah, sounds like your company's not taking it maybe as seriously as they should.
Well,
But
yeah,
uh,
I want to make a dinner party jab, but you're just gonna be like, no, it's fine.
because yeah, I started to think this probably won't end in the near future.
No, especially if you keep having dinner parties or going on boats.
I legit remember back when it first started, some people were like, "I heard the shutdown might not end until like the beginning of June." I'm like, "It's no way it's gonna last that long."
We had a meeting right before the shutdown, and my boss said, expect to come back at the end of May or beginning of April. This was
End of
in March.
April? Oh, oh, I thought you meant like April of next year.
No,
Oh, like
no.
April of a month from then.
Yeah. And then I didn't actually start going back into work until June. So.
Man. Well, yeah, wild times we live in. At least it hasn't impacted the Twitch streamers. In a way, they're forward thinking.
Yeah, if I go back to teleworking even more, I'll probably be able to stream during the week more too, which will be nice. I think the trick was just finding a game I actually felt like playing to stream.
Hey, Spore is right up your alley.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since I set a goal,
What's the goal?
take over the whole galaxy.
Ooh. Yeah, well, I'll try to catch your next stream. Just
So what's your plan for the course of discussion, Cooper? You seem to have
yeah,
a
so
little roadmap laid out there.
yeah, a little roadmap. So, like I said, this is going to be a little recap of basically the first half of 2020. Um, one of the better halves of any year in history, I'd like to say, just overall.
Hmm.
But I sent you a Google Doc with basically just the albums reviewed.
Oh, did I?
For that, I think we'll just kind of go through the list, kind of bring up the album, maybe if it's grown on us any past reflections over it, whether we even have anything to say about it, and just kind of reflect on some of the albums we've listened to.
I don't really want to talk about Phobia by Breaking Benjamin anymore. I'll be honest. I fucking hated that album.
Our first one would have been Phobia by Breaking Benjamin.
And if there was an album to tell you how the year was gonna go, it's right there. That was probably honestly the high point of the year.
What, Phobia by Breaking Benjamin?
Yep.
Yeah, this was back in January. Simpler times. I remember we were worried about who was going to be the Democratic nominee, instead of whether going outside would kill my grandma. uh,
My grandma still goes to work. She
oh
shouldn't,
my.
but she does. Guess what she does? She cleans people's houses, which actually is probably one of the safer work things to do.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
But she also works at the funeral
clean.
home. Nice.
Oy. Does she like Phobia by Breaking Benjamin?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, this was how we kicked off the year. I think we had. Did we have Matt on for this one, or was this just a?
This was just us. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we've. I
We
think
had him on for
Carmen's
Green
been the
Day.
only one that's been on.
No. We had Matt for Green Day,
Oh,
Carmen
Pratik was
for
on
Selena,
for
and Pratik was on for Gallant.
right.
Yeah,
Wait, we
so we've
did
actually
Green
had a.
Day?
Yeah,
God, this has been a long ass year. Jesus Christ. It's only July? What the fuck? Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, I was looking back and I'm like, man, these last couple of months have been a good few years.
Honestly, when my
Yeah, sorry,
birthday
we
hit,
didn't
I
we
was
didn't
like, I
talk
felt
about
I was
Ralph Break.
21 or 22.
We didn't talk about the Ralph
Whatever.
Breaks the Internet OST, unfortunately.
Mm-mm.
I actually haven't even seen that movie yet.
I haven't either.
I heard it was the lesser of the two Ralph movies. Though I do like John D. Riley.
Yeah. Man,
What's his name?
it's been a long ass year.
Long ass year. John C. Riley. That's it.
What'd you say?
D.
No.
The C actually stands for D. That's what it's short for.
I just know him as John Riley.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so Bricky Benjamin. I know it wasn't our favorite one leading off to it. But the next one I think was pretty strong. Breakfast in America by Supertramp.
That's a good album.
That was a very good album.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of helped set the trend of I think we've done a lot of classic rock this year so far. It's been kind of a overall trend. I think this kind of kicked it off.
No. What? We've done a lot of classic rock. Album 3, College Dropout. Album 4, Green Day. Album 5, Gustav Holst. Album 6,
Van Halen, Dire Straits, Steely Dan.
We've done 4.
Pink Floyd.
Okay, 5.
You might count Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen is not classic rock. We've done 5 out of 17, Cooper. I would not call that a trend.
It's not a trend in the recent time.
3 in a row, I would call that a trend, yes. But the rest I would not call a trend.
So, but we've been on a bit of a kick.
Yeah.
And I think this was definitely a what kicked it off.
I'd argue that's
album.
just the music I listen to, so that's the music I want to listen to.
Well, that helps too. It helped me get drawn into.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Breakfast in America, logical song, Goodbye Stranger.
Very good.
This album is just banger after banger.
It's a very good album.
And also got some amazing artwork of that lady on the side of the plane with the breakfast. Very pure artwork.
I think she's still alive. She reposed for a picture, I think, either within the last couple of years.
I guess this was only came out like what, 1980, late 1970s.
Oh, I don't know exactly. Let me look.
That was only 40 years ago. A tight 40.
Well, I mean, if she was 40 when the picture was taken, there's a chance. It was 1997 or 1979 rather. Sorry,
1997.
A little dyslexic today.
That's what I was saying. Like, wow, Supertramp's a little more modern than I gave credit for.
No.
Yeah, no. I think I recall us reviewing it very favorably. Which I mean, I had never heard of Supertramp project before, so I was all for it.
I used to listen to a lot of Supertramp when I was younger.
In your younger days.
When I was a wee lad.
And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we also had reviewed The College Dropout by Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had, I guess you're right, we had a good mix of genres even going into it. With some hip-hop going in. And I know you're not a big College Dropout fan.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Kanye before we listened to it, and that confirmed that, I don't like him or his music.
I will say he's definitely been going a bit off the deep end as of late. I'm not sure if you follow his Twitter at all.
No,
Sam.
Why would I follow his Twitter?
Because the man says some pretty wild things. Yeah, his mental health has been in a steep decline, unfortunately. Uh, I think he might be going a little bit off the deep end.
I mean, he's bipolar and doesn't take any medication for it, and that would do it.
Yeah, but this one, it's really showing to the point where it's like I feel almost bad for the guy. Uh, but at least this album came out in the early 2000s before Kanye kind of became quote unquote Kanye. Uh, and it's kind of a bit of a juxtaposition to him now because this one he's like a little more humble, a little more down to earth. I mean, he has like a 14-minute song talking about just him like gushing over the fact that some guys gave him the chance to make this album. Uh, which is a long song, but definitely different than current Kanye.
Yeah, I I don't like him.
Well, but you love the next album, right, Sam? Father of All by Green Day, which was their newest full-length LP that was released in 2020. This is actually a fresh album when we reviewed it, and I believe we had Matt on for this one.
We did. Anytime Green Day is on, that's Matt.
It's always Matt.
Yeah.
Gotta say, pretty disappointed with this one.
I honestly cannot remember this one. It just kind of passed out of my memory.
That's kind of part of how disappointing it is. It was just very it felt almost like parody-ish of Green Day. To the point of it like being almost like Target ad music,
Mm-hmm.
Like it plays in the back of like a superstore. I probably can't remember a single jam on this entire song. I do remember "Stab You in the Heart" because that was like a weird like punk rockabilly song, and I despised it.
Yeah, you really don't like that rockabilly.
I don't know what it is about it. Just it's so corny, man. It's so corny. I just can't listen to it like it's like a Christmas novelty song, right? It's like I can't view it as like a music. It's like its own section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do not remember any of that album whatsoever.
Yeah, no, we
did not leave an impression on me.
It was only like 25 minutes too, so she came and went. So hopefully their next project is a little more substantial, or better at least.
Yeah. I mean, at least it was short. It's got that going. Got that going for it.
It was short. One that was slightly longer was our next album, which was The Planets by Gustav Holst.
Mm-hmm.
And this was our little foray into classical music. I know this is an album that you're really big into, Sam.
Yeah. Sorry, I just realized I should probably be putting these in the place where we usually put the track, so people know which one we're talking about. And it's hidden. There we go. Yeah. I love this album, but it's more you're getting into the realm of, well, it's kind of like it's a classical piece. Do you call that an album?
I mean, honestly, in a way, this one's probably one of the most album-esque classical pieces, just because it's very it's almost like a proto concept album, right? Where he takes because he takes the idea of like the planets, right, and exploring their themes musically. That is the concept.
A lot of old classical music's exactly like that. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary in that sense whatsoever.
Fair, but I'd say this is probably the most popular, or maybe the most generally well known.
I would, yeah. There's definitely argument for that. Except, what's the what is it? There's that song that they used in Great Gatsby that was shit. I don't know. I can't remember.
Happy Together by the Turtles?
No. It's a classical piece that they often use in old movies when like panning over New York.
Oh, Rhapsody in Blue,
yes,
probably.
That might be more famous.
Yeah, Gershwin is probably maybe a little more famous, but
I would argue that more people would recognize it than the planets, at least.
no, I mean Mars and Jupiter especially
Yeah.
are ye old bangers like these
Mars is
things.
definitely the more well known of the two as well.
Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, this is a great concert piece,
Mm.
and there's a song for every mood.
Even your Uranus.
Even Uranus, the bringer of oh no, it was the magician. Uranus is magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then we did a completely flip side for our next album was Rare by Selena Gomez as a completely new album that she dropped.
And Carmen was on for that one.
Yes, Carmen guested for that one because it come out just a couple months before we reviewed it. And I would say it's a pretty. I dug it as like a kind of a 2020 pop album. It didn't like reinvent the game or anything, but I think she came in through with some pretty delightful songs on this one.
That one failed to make an impression on me as well. I don't remember it.
You got your memory slipping, Sam?
My mind does daily purges, and I forget a lot of things. It seems
Because we reviewed this one on March 6th, beginning of March. It was the precipice of disaster.
I think I had other things on my mind at that point.
That's true. This year has been a little more wild than usual. I think we can fairly say. Just a tad. Just a tad. And then we also did some fun jazz with Planet Pimp by Soil and Pimp Sessions.
I remember
which
that
was
album.
the Japanese jazz group that we explored. And
Mainly because I've listened to them a shit ton.
Oh yeah, I've since listened through their entire discography, and it is pretty flame front to back. Planet Pimp's probably their best project. It's either that or Pimp Master, which is one of their other earlier albums.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think their newest album, Man Steals the Stars, is pretty good too. So they've had a pretty good discography. And I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping they come out with something again. But I don't know how well the live jazz scene is doing in Japan right now.
It's actually probably doing pretty well. They only had about 1,000 cases, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cooper.
Oh, power to them.
Shocking to, no one, but the pandemic's pretty much over everywhere else. UK's having a rough go of it because they're trying to open as well, but they're also fucking stupid. But everywhere else, pretty much back to normal.
Man, if only this could have been prevented.
No way to prevent this, says Nation, where this is the only place it regularly happens.
It's happening in Brazil, too.
Yeah, the crackpot dictator.
Yeah, he's not the smartest man alive.
Certainly ain't the dumbest.
Yeah, well, hopefully they are able to perform live more in Japan then. Ideally.
Yeah, it'll still probably be another year or so before it all revs back up in Japan anyway.
Before we get a vaccine.
They're being extra careful over there.
I can't blame them.
Yeah. But maybe they'll do some studio stuff, because I know, Goldfinger's been more active during the pandemic than any other time.
Ever.
Yeah. They did a bunch of reunion songs, so.
Bunch of reunion songs. Yeah, I mean, as long as they're riding that Superman high. A new Tony Hawk Skater game's coming out, so now's their time to shine.
For that, yeah. And then album 8 was After Hours by The Weeknd.
After Hours.
Which I really didn't like at the time, but Blinding Lights has been popping up every once in a while, and I really like the song. I think it's because of the fact that every single song in that album sounded the same to me that I didn't even it didn't process. I don't know.
No, Blinding Lights is definitely the standout song on the entire album.
But I feel
I'm
like
still,
it wiped itself from my memory just because everything else on that album was just kind of eh.
yeah, this album still kind of bums me out. Some of my friends were really into it, but I just, I don't know. I walked away a little disappointed. Uh, it was a little more bleh than I expected, even though it got generated a lot of praise.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, it was disappointing, especially since other than Blinding Lights, everything else was just kind of there, very very formulaic.
Yeah, no. So not my favorite album of the year. And had some neat ideas. It kind of had 80s throwback vibes to it at times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was just kind of so, yeah, especially compared to Blinding Light, it kind of lacked so much energy. It was kind of hard to get excited for.
Yeah, it was a very kind of sleepy album.
Sleepy.
And it
time.
wasn't Vampire Weekend like I thought we were going to be listening to.
Which was our next album. We reviewed Contra by Vampire Weekend.
And they're a lot worse than I remembered. I did not have good music taste when I was a child.
You know, I think you're being a little harsh on Contra. It's certainly not like they go for a very specific vibe,
Mm-hmm.
right? That Yale rock,
It's all right.
Harvard rock. Or it's good in small bursts.
Yeah.
Though honestly, I since listened to Father of the Bride, which is their 2019 album that just came out,
Well,
and that's actually well, okay, relatively. I think it turned out I liked it more than Contra, honestly. It had some good guest performances by Steve Lacy, just like a guitarist. I thought overall was just a pretty solid album. I mean, if you're not if you don't like Vampire Weekend, this is not the album. It won't like sell you on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's still Vampire Weekend. But I don't know. I remember enjoying Contra, despite it being like kind of just like its own vibe. It doesn't really venture up beyond that.
Yeah, it was. It's better. Better part was it was short. It was a shorter album.
Yeah, some of the albums we review are a little on the long side, but that's alright. And then for number 10, I believe this was our anniversary review.
It was.
We did Plastic Beach by Gorillaz. Which obviously you and I are rather big Gorillaz fans.
Mm-hmm. Listen to it so much that Carmen hates the song Super Fast Jellyfish now.
Well, that song borders on novelty, but like to the point that it loops back around to being a great song.
Mm-hmm. My kind of song.
Yeah, this you do like the novel songs. Yeah, no, this is just a great album. We both really loved it. I mean, you got Super Fast Jellyfish, of course. Empire Ants is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
It got the Snoop Dogg feature, which is
Mm-hmm.
just amazing way to lead into an album.
There's that one song that has way too much mouth sounds that I can never listen to, so I don't know the name.
Oh,
of it.
Sweepstakes.
Yeah. Oh no, Sweepstakes is just trash. I'm talking about a different song. Cloud of Unknowing is pretty bad as well.
You're thinking of To Binge.
Yeah.
Because it's got Little Dragon featured on it. And it's a much worse feature than on Empire Ants.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, it's a good song. It's just they didn't mix it very well, in my opinion.
Audio is very high up.
Mm-hmm. Sweepstakes is trash.
Come on.
Garbage.
Come on, Sweepstakes is a great song.
Sweepstakes. That's it. That's the song. It's trash. Cloud of Unknowing is also pretty bad.
You have to have a high IQ to understand Sweepstakes. It's a big brain song.
Yeah, whatever.
And I mean, since we reviewed this, Gorillaz has been coming out with some pretty good singles recently on their whole Sound Machine project. I mean, you've got Desoulé,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. There's also the slow tie feature. What was that one? Momentary Bliss, I think, is very good. Their newest one that just came out like a week ago, Pac-Man, I think was pretty excellent too. Even had a Schoolboy Q feature.
I haven't heard that one. I'll have to go listen to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very I think it's a pretty like a Demon Day esque like throwback for Gorillas.
Ah,
It's like
okay. I
this kind
probably
of
won't like it
very
as much then.
I don't know. It's got like that kind of off kilter like synth vibe, right?
Yeah, I like their more recent stuff though, as opposed to Demon Days. I know you're the other way around.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I it just feels like it could fit right in with that kind of genre, of being kind of a kooky synth song with like an inexplicate rapper feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then going on from Plastic Beach, we then looked into Born in the USA
When
by
it was
good old
requested that we listen to Running in the USA,
Born to Run.
Born to Run.
Yeah,
You just put this one in there.
got them switched around. Unfortunately, because this you know this did not convert me to being a Bruce Springsteen fan. That's for sure.
Yeah. I had a conversation with my friend who recommended, and he supposedly Born to Run is a much better album.
Okay.
Judging
Yeah.
because I know when we were watching the trailer for that Bruce Springsteen movie, we were probably a little more harsh because just judging it off this one album, it's a dumb fucking movie. But supposedly
You mean the
his other
one
stuff
where
is bad.
the kid is like Bruce Springsteen? He talks to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to judge how other people experience music, right? Obviously, Bruce Springsteen does kind of have like a running theme in his songs about like kind of being like speaking to like heartland America, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the average man.
Except this was
Uh,
a Indian kid living in UK. It looks like.
yeah, yeah, but kind of like a someone who's like out of their depths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or feels like the world's just too big. Um, yeah, but this album did not convert me. It just it's a bunch of heartland rock that comes out as like exceedingly hokey at times, and God bless him, but Bruce's voice, the whole album of it's a lot.
Yeah. He's got yeah. He's got a voice, that's for sure.
Very distinct, when you're listening to Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. You eating some food there, Cooper?
Oh no, I just popped a mint.
Ah.
And then going to a different realm of, I guess, rock, is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. One of their more experimental albums, I would say. But I guess that's not saying much when you're talking about Pink Floyd.
No. Very good album. 2 13-minute songs.
Yes. I mean, it's like a, what? It's not a super long album. It's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes
50,
long.
Yeah, 40 50 minutes. But, I mean, 2 13-minute songs. 13 minutes is a long song. But
well, luckily they're split into like little parts within each song.
Yeah. Well, if there's one group that knows how to do long songs, it's Pink Floyd.
Yeah, with the "Shine On You Crazy Diamonds." Yeah, this was an interesting format. It's basically just two very long songs with like three normalish size songs kind of sandwiched in between.
Mm-hmm. Because it's got "Wish You Were Here" on it, which is one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs.
Yes, it's a great song. "Welcome to the Machine," where they talk about the man.
The man.
As per usual. The man. It's part of a machine.
So that's not much to say about Pink Floyd. It's just Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it's just a great listen. And then we went on and did another recommendation.
And Pratik was on this one.
By Gallant. Yes, we had a guest, Pratik as a guest. And this was a pretty, I wouldn't say it was like a great album, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Kind of like a new age kind of R&B take. Alternative R&B, I suppose. It kind of has like some very grandiose performances. by Gallant. He has a very good voice, even if his songs kind of fall into the more maybe generic side of things in terms of like sounding slightly like they have that kind of loud, loud important sound that like Imagine Dragons tries to go for occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'd say this one sounds more like a more successful Imagine Dragons attempt than a unsuccessful one.
Yeah, it had its moments, but it also got a little repetitive at times as well.
A little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
It didn't really leave me wanting more,
Mm-hmm.
or at least like I wasn't blown away by Gallant by any means.
No, but it didn't want me. It didn't leave me wanting less. Maybe
And
a
to
little
be fair,
bit less.
this was his debut album,
Yeah.
so maybe he's grown since then. I haven't really checked out his other stuff, but I like to imagine.
We'll pretend that he has 17 studio albums.
Well, like Shaka Khan.
Yeah. Hot off the heels of starring in El Dorado. Released What You're Gonna Do for Me,
Which I think was the surprise listen for me in terms of how much I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Is Shaka Khan knows how to make just a good upbeat R&B song. Like this album, some pretty great funk, some great soul. The melody lingers on is still like such a good kind of like jazz R&B fusion song that I'm impressed with. And there's just some good beats on this. That Beatle cover still throws me for a loop every time because I've listened to the album a little bit since, and I always skip that one because I don't know, it just strikes me as weird.
Yeah, I still really liked it. I think because I didn't immediately connect the dots. I was like, this sounds familiar. But I hadn't listened to the Beatles original in a while, so I was like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, for someone who's kind of grown up on Beatles, it's like it's like an off taste. You're like, I just prefer to be listening to the original version.
Yeah. You and your, I'm much more open to novelty, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike novelty, but like, I don't think like a album can ride on it unless you're like Weird Al or something.
True. And he rides it well.
Which, I mean, this is just like a song on the album, so yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Listen to a bit of Van Halen for the next one.
Yes, 1984. An excellent album.
Their most popular album.
And honestly, I can't blame them. Just excellent guitar work all around.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all the singles on this album are top shelf stuff too. I mean, Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher.
That still pops into my head every once in a while.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still throw it on the queue every now and then.
I'll be tapping my fingers and then it'll take off in my head.
Yeah, just that and that drum solo that kicks it off. It's like gets your blood pumping.
Yeah, it's a good solo.
Yeah, no, just an excellent rock album. Pretty much like peak 1980s rock.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, Eddie Van Halen is probably the best guitarist that has ever lived.
Certainly one of the most accomplished in terms of just technical work. And being able to work that into like a great song.
True, because you can play good guitar, but if it doesn't make a good song, no point in playing good guitar.
Right. This guy obviously was able to make both. 1980s rock album that I was slightly less impressed with was Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. which was still all right. Um, Certainly not as impressive as 1984, I think.
Mm-mm. I mean, that's a hard act to follow.
Yeah, it really is. But this one was a little less memorable.
Uh, it, Brothers in Arms is one of their most famous albums. Everybody knows. I can't remember the name of the song now. God damn it. I want my MTV. What's that song?
Oh, Money for Nothing.
Money for Nothing. Thank you.
And my chicks for free. Yeah, that one's probably the best one on the album.
A lot more homophobic than I realized since I'd only ever heard the radio edit.
Yeah, didn't expect that in the uncut version. Well, not that's why they have the that's why they have the radio version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like listening to just their singles is easier to do than listening through a full album.
Yeah, no, because their non-single songs definitely don't hold the same weight.
Yeah.
There's a significant decrease in quality. And finally, our last album that we discussed was Asia by Steely Dan.
Yeah, the most recent one.
The most recent, though, it wasn't super recent, comparatively. A month ago. Yeah, we've been on hiatus for a hot second.
You've had a lot to do.
It's true. Been a busy
boy.
Busy boy time. But yeah, this one was also, I think it was a great album to end on for that half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Deacon Blues, Asia, Peg and Josie are all just great songs. It's a pretty watertight album. I've also since listened through their back discography. And while I do think Asia is probably their strongest overall, they got some good albums. I mean, Royal Scam and Katie Lied are just mwah.
It's a fantastic album, and I love the synth work. I love the novel instrument use. I know it's not on this one, but the sitar solo in oh shit! Why I cannot remember anything tonight. God damn it.
Your brain has turned to mush.
It has. I don't remember. Do it again. That's what it is. Jesus, took me a second there. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of Steely Dan in general.
And this album's like peak Steely Dan, honestly. And yeah, those are the 17 albums we've reviewed so far this year.
Yeah.
So we've missed a couple weeks here and there.
Just a couple.
But now that I'm all moved in, hopefully we can be a little more consistent with our reviewing.
Yeah, well, there's no point in forcing it. Do it when we can.
Yeah, of course. But I won't have to worry about moving across the country in a pandemic anymore.
True. Very true.
Which is nice. But yeah. So we're not really like ranking them or anything right now. That's usually our year-end thing. We just wanted to have a little
just a
little touch base.
A little chat.
A little episode saying we're still here.
Yeah.
Talk about some of our old albums. I guess we could also do Spare Tire if you want to, Sam.
Sure. I mean, mine hasn't changed.
Well, in the last month?
I've just been listening to America and a lot of ELO, of course.
Oh, okay. ELO. Never heard of him. Nah, just kidding. Hey, maybe Jeff Lynne will release another album.
Maybe.
I feel like he's got at least one more left in him.
Probably more than that, if we're being honest. He's still pretty damn lively. I'm not too optimistic about
No?
From Out of Nowhere was all right. It had some good ones. Sci-Fi Woman's a banger, but I don't know. What was it? Time of Our Lives. Those are some really shitty lyrics. Even ELO Circle Jerk doesn't defend those lyrics. I thought it was cute. Yeah, no, shut up. Those are bad lyrics. Those are really bad lyrics.
He went to the stadium with his
I said
buddy.
To my friend Phil.
Just talking to Phil. It's called
honestly, the best description of that song I've seen is, "Hey Jeff, we need a song to put over the tour recap video from 2018. What do you want us to use? I'll just write a song for it." Okay.
Bust it out. Oh, man.
What about you? What have you been listening to?
I've been listening through the back catalog of Sufjan Stevens. Not sure if you've listened to any of his music. He has the best known probably for the album Illinois, where it's got like a lot of very glitzy kind of acoustics and like very theatrical performances, talking about like the state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's got a pretty good discography. He goes into some more experimental like electronica and Age of Ads, which I actually just got on vinyl yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I really like that album. And then also he gets very sad on his most recent album. It was called Carrie and Lowell.
Mm-hmm.
It's about his mother who just passed away. That's a sad album. It has a lot of emotion in it. So if you just want to be sad, very introspective.
I'm all right.
That is the album for you. And then besides that, I also finally listened through Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Oh, nice.
I never actually listened through it before. And gosh darn, they made a good album with this. I can see why people love it, even though it was made like 50 years ago. It's like so unabashedly just pure.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about like they just love their girl. And they just want to be back home with the girl so they can kiss them on the forehead. It's like so unabashedly sweet that you just can't help but love it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, God only knows, it's like chef's kiss.
I've not listened to too much Beach Boys, I'll be honest.
Yeah, this album's impressively crisp. I saw it described as like spiritual music for, but like if like it was like a teenage religion or something. I just like it's very almost transcendent in terms of like very heavenly sounds.
Maybe I'll have to give him more of a chance.
Yeah, I kind of wrote him off as a little more one trick, but dang if I don't like that trick.
I mean, they definitely got a very distinct style.
Oh yeah. It stands out, but I think this is the album where it really all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's basically what I've been listening to. Yeah, we don't really have any ratings or anything. Like I said, this was a little more casual. Just want to pop on and say hi.
Just a quick little. I say quick. It's been an hour. This has been the same length as a normal.
We covered a lot more albums than usual.
True. Just a little little thing.
Just a little thing. Just a little something for y'all to hold you over. Something. Then hopefully you'll join us next time. Keep your eye on the Twitter, Audio Shop 14. We'll always update when we're going to go live and what we're going to review. And then you can also drop a suggestion in the suggestion box.
Down on Twitch.
Yeah, down on Twitch in case you want to give us a song or an album to review next, and we might give it a look.
And if you're a fan of what you heard, although this one's a bit slower than usual, I'd say. But if you'd like to listen more, if you scroll down, there's a little picture of Jeff Lynne. You click his face, it'll take you to the YouTube where all the past episodes are. And if you're on YouTube, we do this live on Twitch on Sundays at 8. I'd say usually, but it hasn't been usual. So keep an eye on that Twitter.
Yeah, so I think that's all I got to say, Sam.
Yeah, so that's all I've got to say is see you later, shoppies.
See ya.
See ya.